Hey guys, Magnus Robert here, bringing you another event idea video for the Simpsons Tap Down. Now, this is a cult v cult event. Basically, what this is going to be is we're going to be focusing on several cults. We're going to be focusing on 3 cults / secret societies, kind of 4, because I'm going to have like a Mr. Burns act, but really it's only 3. Now, you might be thinking, well, 4 would have been perfect. You try finding something that fits into this event. There was another one, but it just didn't really fit in, so I decided just to go with the Stonecutters, the Movementarians, and of course the Island people. So yeah, let's get into it. This is also kind of it kind of doubles up as like my my way to fix the disaster that was the Christmas Royale showdown thing, whatever it's called, the one where the leader was added to. It's kind of my my way of fixing the Movementarians being added, because I really didn't like what they did with the leader. I guess there's not really much hope now because he's already been added, so you can't really change his animations and his questline. So be it. The leader will have to remain how he is, but at least we can maybe try and patch some things up. So let's get into it. So Old Scratch, he's here, and he's looking for a new cult to preach his awful teachings. The cult will be awarded with benefits such as money, power, and, well, the backing of the hell and its demons. They all come forward, number 1. Number 2, the leader, even Lovejoy is there, looking for money for the church roof. So you make Homer check out the cults and make Lisa check out cults. So in the, on all the acts returning was going to be the hieroglyphic wall for $500 and the tube slide for $2,500. I think this is important. When you re-add stuff that used to be cash, make it cash. I think that's a big, important thing. And then we have the cult box. So of course I made a mystery box for this one. I'm not sure why. I think I just kind of got into it. We of course have a cult box, and this is kind of a way that they can do it. So you got the Burns cult headquarters, and then you've got the statue with the new god Mr. Burns. This will be a combo. You've got the Movementarian bundle, so this will include a crowd of Movementarians, the Movementarian ad truck, and the spaceship is a combo item, because I don't think either of them are good on their own. Number 1 with the Stonecutters headquarters, number whatever it was, the alien, and then you have Grandpa and Abe with the sacred thingy-majingy. You have Lenny and Carl just as a bundle, Hibbert and Mo as a bundle. This is probably the best one you can get. You get Wiggum, Krusty, and Disco Stew with the table, Mr. Burns and Smithers with the money pool. You have Quimby and Frink with the chest, Willie and Skinner with the wall. Lonnie Pie and Brockman is just one bundle. You have Homer anyway, with the Stone of Triumph, I think this one is. And then you have the Stonecutters, Daycare Center, the Abandoned Store, and the Pyramid. So yeah, I think this is a good way of adding all the Stonecutter costumes back. I know there's a few of them that you can get here and there in the yearbook and stuff, but I don't think you can get, at least in my new town, I haven't been able to get every single costume yet. So I think definitely they will have to, in this update, re-add all of them, either to a mystery box, or they could potentially add them to the store. I guess either is fine, to be honest, but I think the mystery box could be like a nice way, and then you could have like a token in each prize track. And then some of this stuff, you got Satan's Anvil, the Stonecutters secret tunnel, Egg Council guy, Old Scratch's gym with obviously the torture coach, and then Old Scratch, I'm like debating if he should be in the cult box or he should just be added to the store. I guess seeing as he's kind of included in my sort of startup, at least maybe he should be added to the store, but I think it'd be cool to let free players have a chance to maybe unlock him. So let's get into the actual event. So number 15, he's going to be the super premium for this event. He's going to be $8.99 or pounds. He's obviously from the islands, and I think he's the more notable one. Obviously, I haven't been able to add all of the island characters, mainly just because I don't think most of them are needed to be added. They could be added like at a later date, I think, and there's not enough stuff for them to come with. I really wanted to make a whole event on the island, but really there just isn't enough to do it on. So sadly, I'm going to have to just add number 15 to the Super Premium, and you'll see the others who get added. Starting off with number 2, with the island villa. So we don't really see the villa properly. We see the stairs here. I think this is the best shot I could get of it, where we see like kind of part of the building here. We don't get like a decent shot of it, but we kind of see parts of it in the background here and there. So they just have to kind of make it like a Tapped Out exclusive. I'm sure they've done it. They've done it before. They kind of did it with the Vindicator's base anyway, because that Vindicator's base was obviously... we only really saw the interior of that thing, and then like we saw kind of like the bird's eye view of that building. So they kind of made up that building as well. So they could do it with this one. Although it is going to be another villa, so I'm hoping they do something a bit snazzy with it. I want them to make it kind of stand out a little bit, because I feel like we've got enough, too many villas. But obviously that will be 150 donuts, and that will come with number 2. So the questline: Homer, Lisa, Marge, they're staying away from these cults. Well, they're supporting Lovejoy in his claim. Bart, though, he's getting interested and asks number 2 if he can join this cool cult. Number 2 gives him, number 2 is also going to be like, it's not a cult, right? It's just a secret society. Number 2 gives him a location to come and meet. So, obviously, this will unlock the fake Quickie Mart. So, I want this to be I probably would say, I think debating whether it should be a building or, I think maybe a building, actually, because it is a fake Quickie Mart, but it also is like a secret society kind of, operation. So maybe it could charge just like the normal stack of cash that some of those kind of miscellaneous buildings get. I guess, or should it be a decoration? Either way, I think it probably should just be a decoration. And when you tap it, it will turn into the truck, and then you tap it again and it turns into just like a regular Quickie Mart with the truck obviously poking out of the left of it. So yeah, have a cool little animation. Bart is introduced to the cult and some of its members. Meanwhile, Homer and Marge are searching for Bart and find a tied up Apu. Bart becomes a new member, number 100, and this will unlock the island. So I think the island could probably be a building. Yes, it is a whole island, but the fact that it hides the world's secrets and things, I think it constitutes a building, even though it's a kind of a nature preserve. It's one of those things I'd be cool with it being either really a building or deco, but just to obviously add a building to this act, I think probably make that a building and leave this a decoration so it can have that cool animation. Bart invites Milhouse to the island, and number 2 is frustrated as this is meant to be a secret. That's the whole point of the whole island thing. Number 2 wants Bart to eliminate Milhouse, and Marge and Homer suddenly come with the help of the sea captain and Apu. They all get knocked out with their secret gas though. So you unlock the Island Phone Box, Island Flamingo, and the Island Penguin bundle. So yeah, this will be a bundle. You get the telephone box obviously, and when you tap it, the kind of gas kind of seeps out of it. You have the Flamingo, who you tap will kind of just move his neck, and the Penguin will just kind of waddle to left or right, Yeah, just some kind of cool little decorations to chuck in your town. Nothing too fancy, but it's a combo of 3, so I think that's makes it worth it. The family and Milhouse and the sea captain, for some reason, fight their way to freedom, and they're able to escape. Number 2 and his minions. The sea captain tells Homer to help him construct a raft, alright? They have their limited supplies. So blah blah blah. All in all, you unlock the escape raft, which is right here, obviously, and yeah, that will be pretty cool. Number 2, he's mad and he tells all of his best goons to deal with the family. He tells his best of the goons to deal with the family. This, of course, is the Homer imposter. He visits the family and attacks Homer, but luckily, someone comes to their rescue. It's Jane and Glenn from the Movementarians. They tell the family that they have been fighting the Island Society for years now, and they are now in debt to the movement. So, all in all, you unlock Homer the Imposter. Or the Homer Imposter. The Homer Imposter, I think is a better name. The Homer Imposter. And people might be saying, well, this is a literal doppelganger. Yeah, it is, but I think keep his head kind of shaved like this, like it is here, and then he's able, and obviously keep him with the black tie as well, and you can distinguish him well enough from real Homer. Yes, he will be one of the most doppelganger characters out ever, but who cares? I think he is a separate person, so yeah. Anyway, moving on. In the store for Act 2 is going to be the Movementarian cabins with Glenn and Jane for 150 donuts. So this is something that wasn't actually included in the Movementarian compound that we got in the, whatever it's called, Clash of Creeds event. We didn't actually get the cabins in the building design. Now we got the sign, we got the main welcome center, but we didn't, and we got some of the the vineyards, whatever they're called, but we didn't actually get the cabins, and we didn't get the some other stuff as well, which we'll get into. So I think adding these cabins would actually be pretty cool to do. So yeah, and they're nothing too special, but you can kind of, you know, add them with the path going up, the, you know, one cabin here, one cabin there, one cabin there, maybe a few more on the left here, maybe, you know, 2 more here, make it kind of a 5-in-1 building. Just a few cabins, nothing too fancy or anything, but you get Jane and Glenn. Now, I think these guys should probably be a 2-in-1. In the past, I've made them separate characters, but I think now, really looking back on it, I think 2-in-1 is probably fair for these guys, because they basically are the same character. They serve the same purpose. There's not much distinguishing them in terms of their personality. So, the Simpsons family are once again brought to the Movementarians' compound, where Glenn and Jane tell them, the Simpsons, that they need to help spread the word of their movement if they wish to be free. Homer and Marge begin to spread the word of the movement to the town, and this will unlock the Movementarian compound bundle. So, yeah, I figure, why not chuck in the leader and the Movementarian compound into the prize track. That's why he wasn't in the mystery box, if you were wondering. Because, yes, I know I'm normally against adding returning items to the prize track unless it really fits into the event. And I think because A, I want the leaders to actually be involved in the quest line, I think it makes sense to add him in the prize track, and B, I think it's, you know, it's kind of required. You need, if you want to have the Movementarians, you need to give us the compound, and so for that reason, I think, yeah, add in the compound with the leader. But as well, you also get a token, so even if you've got everything in the game, or you're a player who's got everything in the game, or you're a player who's already got the leader, there's 3 options. Either A, you get the leader, and you get a token. Wow, amazing. You already have the leader, but you don't have everything in the game, so you get a token. Then maybe you get some stone costumes or something. Or C, you have everything in the game, but you can trade your token in for donuts, and it only happens once in the prize track, so shut up. Anyway, Glenn and Jane tell Homer that due to the leader being a bit, well, drunk, indisposed by alien forces, Homer must act like the leader and speak to the masses. So, I do want the leader to be involved. Obviously, he's going to be like drunk and stuff, but eventually you unlock the leader's car, which is here. Homer seems to be a little bit over his head. Now he thinks he's the leader. He actually believes it, and Marge is worried that they've got to him. Lisa is too. Number 2, he's back, and he talks to Jane and Glenn, telling them that the Bart is theirs. Bart is theirs. We own Bart. He signed our secret society thing. Jane and Glenn ask Homer what to do, and Homer decides to hand Bart over, saying that the Forbidden Barn has spoken to him and has told him that they must hand over Bart. So you unlock the Forbidden Barn. Marge needs out, and she wants to save Bart from the Islanders again. Lisa and Marge plan their escape and rally a small crowd. Moe, Kirk, Legs, Louie. But their plan is about to go down. Homer announces, they've picked bachelors, that everyone's going to marry, and all the men that they've recruited, they've all ran off to go get a wife. So you unlock the Movementarium Chapel, which is right here. So yeah, it's just this with the leader thing, and then, kind of just a little chapel. But it's going to have a special feature, which is send characters to join the Movementarians. So basically, it will have a list of pretty much every character that you see in the Movementarian episode. I think if they want this to be like really, really special, I kind of want it to actually, I want them to go the full mile with it. And basically every character that appeared in this episode, minus maybe a few here and there, just the main ones, like your Skinner, your comic book guy, Otto, people like that. Basically, you're able to put them in like a little Movementarian costume. Or maybe they can just do like level characters, like all the level characters get put in a Movementarian costume. They don't have to go to the full extent to do like loads of characters. Just do like all the level characters. But yeah, basically it'll have this special feature very similar to the zombie sandwich, or is there another one like that? I don't know if there is another one like that. But similar to the zombie sandwich anyway, you actually get to send them and they'll appear in like Movementarian costumes. So yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. And anyway, Marge and Lisa decide to escape regardless and make a run for it. But Homer is there to stop them. He tells them that the leader is great and that they should worship him. Marge is then forced to knock Homer out, and her and Lisa make a break for it. Glenn and Jane are mad at Homer and tell him he must repent for his failure, and this will unlock Movementarian Homer, which is right here. So yes, I know I was saying that these costumes would be boring, but for Homer, I think they can make an exception, because I think they could definitely do like a really decent questline with this as well. Plus, I think a way to kind of have the leader's cool animation of him like flying the UFO, I think, is to just repurpose it and give it to Homer. I don't know if I've included that in the animations. I actually forget, because I did the task in animations years ago. But if so, just I'll make a note now. I think the animation with the leader kind of like flying on his little forbidden barn and then it just turning to like a little crappy 1920s plane with the cash, bundles of cash and all that. I want that to be Homer's animation. Anyway, we've got Act 3. So, this act has the Movementarium compound exit with the escape orb. So, the Movementarium compound exit, you might be thinking, what the heck is that? So, obviously this is the thing where Marge escapes. We see the dogs here with like a dude hanging up. We see like a little lake with an alligator in it and like a minefield as well. I want them to really build this out, have some like barbed wire fence as well, kind of around, you know, sealing it off. Make it like an actual proper building. Well, I don't know if this should be a building or should this just be a I think it could just be, yeah, I think decoration makes more sense actually. But yeah, make it like a really, really cool and complex decoration, quite big as well. And you know, when there's someone in here in this building, like I want them to actually like have like the dogs barking at this dude, the alligator raising its face, and the minefield kind of blowing up. I want it to be a very visual decoration. And this will come with the escape orb. Now I remember thinking, what the hell, you're going to add a bubble to the game? Well, the thing is, this escape orb shows up in both the Movementarium episode, The Joy of the Sect, and also appears in the Islander episode too. He serves as the escape orb, or the anti-escape orb, as he should probably be called. In both episodes, it's like a bubble in both episodes. So I figure, why not add him and flesh out his character? So Lisa and Marge are being chased by the escape orb, or the anti-escape orb, who is employed by both the Movementarians and the Islanders. They hide with Milhouse, who is also still running from the escape orb, who apparently he's already got the sea captain. They're cornered and they're trapped, but Mr. Burns is there to help with a team of lawyers who tell the bubble that these here are his people. Well, not Milhouse, you can have him. So all in all, you unlock the Springfield Lawyer House, which of course was included in the Joy the Second episode. If you didn't guess, this kind of one is my little Burns act. Marge and Lisa thank Burns, but are unsure why he helped them. He tells them that he himself is trying out this cult business and wants in on this money from Old Scratch. Mr. Burns says that Homer is the figurehead of the Movementarians now, and Bart is in with the Islanders, so he needs to infiltrate them and destroy them. The escape orb, though, is now lawyered up too, and is looking for them. So you will unlock they go to hide, and you unlock the Burns cult cooling towers. Now, I think this could be either thing, really, but considering we've already got a building here anyway, I figure, and we obviously had a building, the Forbidden Barn would be a building too. I figure, do you know what? Let's just make it a facade. I don't want a separate building for the Burns cult cooling towers. Just make this a facade for Burns' thing. I guess you could maybe put it in line, just to make it kind of in line with the cult headquarters. Make it a separate building, but I don't know if I want that. I think a facade's just fine. Marge and Lisa think it might be best to get the orb on their side. Burns just does this by threatening the orb with his minions, saying that they will pop him. But Lisa, you know, like he has like I don't know, like the mob help him out, like Fat Tony and all that. But Lisa tries a natural and caring approach and gets the orb on their side. So you unlock oh no, his minions are here. These are his minions. Anyway, you unlock the Burns cult minions. Yeah, I think this one could just be like a single dude on his own, and then you could just buy multiple in the store. You know, kind of like the Beefeater and the Queen's Guard. Marge and Old Scratch calls a meeting for the cult leaders. Bart and Homer need to be freed from their indoctrination, and they they use hoverbikes and beer to try to do it. The leader, number 2, and Burns, they all come to verbal blows, and Burns sets the escape orb on a lot of them, so the Simpsons and he can escape. And this will unlock the hoverbikes. Here we are. That was messy. Basically, that part of the act, what I kind of wanted to be, is there's a big meeting, and during the meeting, Marge and Burns are like, oh, Homer, I've got all this beer, and Marge is like, kids, I've got these hoverbikes, like, and they're like, hang on, why are you interrupting the meeting with this, okay, this is a serious meeting, and you know, then it all goes down in the escape. So, the escape orb turns on them all, deciding he will make his own cult instead. How about that he's done... Wait, sorry. He'll make his own... He's done working for the other cult leaders. And he has help. Barry, the recruitment dinosaur. Barry is able to indoctrinate number 2, Burns, the leader, Glenn, Jane, Marge, Homer, Bart, and even Maggie. Lisa is on her own and manages to take a hoverbike and escape, leaving her family behind. So, the escape orb, he's turned on all of them, and he's taken over with the help of Barry, the recruitment dinosaur. So, of course, that's who you unlock. Now, yes, this is just Barney, the dinosaur, in the Movementarian episode. But you know what? If they can get away with Paul fucking Flaw as a parody character, they can just rename this Barry the recruitment dinosaur and get away with that. Because, let's be honest, I think at least that... you know, at least he's not a kind, he's a indoctrination dinosaur. He's a different character, so I think they can get away with it, to be honest. Anyway, moving on. There's a Gills deal. The No Homers Club with Just Stamp the Ticket Man and number 8 for 250 donuts. Now, someone pointed out that yes, the No Homers Club is just the abandoned store. I don't know how I missed that, but I think I was just like skimming through the episode and I just didn't see it. But yes, the No Homers Club is just the abandoned store. However, I don't care. I think make it a Tap Tap exclusive. Just because I think Just Stamp the Ticket Man is such a unique character anyway. And such a kind of well-wanted... he's definitely like a wanted character that a lot of players want to see him in the game. And because it's kind of blows with Homer and his hatred for Homer, I think making a Tapped Out exclusive building for him wouldn't be such a bad shout. And I think, yeah, making the No Homers Club, kind of make it grand, make it cool, have the banner there, actually make it like a really nice looking building. I think that could be like really cool. So yeah, I'm still going with that. So you get a sort of Tapped Out exclusive building, which is the No Homers Club, and on top of that you get Just Stamp the Ticket Man as the full playable character, and you get a costume for him, which will be number 8 for 250 donuts, which of course is his Stonecutter costume. So yeah. And then in the store, and maybe I'm being too generous with this store, but we've got the Stern Lecture Plumbing with number 901 for 125 donuts. This will be this dude, the plumber dude, and his van. And you also can buy, kind of similar to what they did with the Santa Snake in the Christmas Whodunit, you can also buy a costume for Leopold, but there can also be there's a bundle, so you can either buy the Leopold bundle, which obviously includes Leopold, the enrichment, the child, whatever it's called, this thing, and the costume, or you can get Leopold so the bundle, which is either Leopold and number 904 with the Enriched Learning Center for 150 donuts, or you can just get number 904 for just 40 donuts, and obviously that will unlock Act 4. All this unlocks Act 4. So yeah. So with all her family under the control of the cult of the escape orb and Barry, Lisa is left hopeless, so she thinks, she turns to Leopold and the plumber. They both tell Lisa that sadly, because she is a girl, she cannot join their cult of the Stonecutters, and thus they can't help. Lisa thinks this is stupid, but they tell her if she can pull the Stone of Shame, then she is in. So this will unlock the Stone of Shame. Lisa is able to use rigs and ropes to pull the stone, with not much strength, so number 1 isn't happy, but lets her into the club. The plumber tells Lisa that they have lost a lot of members to the other cults, and now it's just down to number 1, the alien, the plumber, and Leopold, pretty much. But Lisa has a plan. So far, the orb has only really taken over cult leaders, but not the members. So Lisa gets Leopold to do his scary face thing and recruit the kids at the school. She gets the plumber to recruit all the other business people, and Lisa focuses on the rest. The first of which is Kirk. So this will unlock number 584, which of course is Kirk Van Houten. So you get a costume for Kirk. Now with their little army, Lisa and friends attack. Leopold is able to convert Bart back. The plumber is able to convert Burns and Homer. Lisa is able to turn back Maggie. It's now just Marge. Lisa is able to talk to the orb and again plead to his humanity and tell him it's wrong to mind control these people. The orb accepts, but number 1 pops the orb, and as a result, Barry the dinosaur is freed, and thus, so is everyone else. Number 1 lets the Simpsons free, mainly because, just like the Ticket Man, does not want Homer in the club, but the rest of the town are under his spell now. So this will unlock the sky blue building, which is their new base of operation. That's right, so the orb is gone, he's been popped, he's been defeated, but number 1, he's back for round 2. The Simpsons, they go home, but Lisa thinks that they need to stop this final cult and rid Springfield of cults for good and save the town. So they raid the new Stonecutter HQ, they sneak around looking for something that will stop them, and Lisa finds the Stonecutter Temple and begins to read the sacred Stonecutter texts. So this will unlock the Stonecutter Mantle. And I want this to be a building. Remember the Hell stage that they added in the Hell event? I really love that stage. They made a good job of that. Despite it being an interior, they made it look like a really, really cool building. And I kind of want them to do the same thing with the Stonecutter Mantle. Just kind of make it grandiose, like Rocky. Just make it look really, really cool. And I think they can. They do the sort of a similar thing with what they did with the Hell stage. I think they can get away with it. And so inside the text, Lisa finds that John Hancock had written that the Stonecutters were never to work with the devil, and in fact, that they must try to kill him. It's part of the rules. So Lisa and the family bring this to the cult and tell them that if this is the case, Old Scratch comes in and he declares that this must be true. He's read it. This is true because he's fished John Hancock himself out of hell, and Old Scratch tells the Stonecutters they're disqualified, and thus the winning cult is the Simpsons. They're very confused. What do you mean we're the winning? We're not a cult. And then he's like, no. The fact that your family is still together, there must be some cult-like, there must be some cult-like energy. I'm feeling some cult energy. So Old Scratch awards the power, the money, and all that to the Simpsons, and obviously you unlock John Hancock. But in the end, they're gonna not really decide to take it, but we'll see that in a second. But there you are, John Hancock. So yeah, the epilogue is the Simpsons are awarded the money and the chance to run the town, but obviously they turn down the latter, but they do take the former. Old Scratch gives them one wish, and they wish for all of the cults and secret societies to be expelled from the town. So you make Homer, Lisa, Marge, and Bart kick out the cult members, and that is the end of the event. So yeah, I think definitely could be a pretty cool event. It's similar to it's kind of like, almost like I wanted to do like a Clash of Creeds sort of homage almost, but like a better version of Clash of Creeds. And I hope I've kind of delivered with this event. I hope you can kind of see that, yeah, they could do something similar to, because I like what the Clash of Creeds was going for, where, having like a clash of these different beliefs. And that's kind of what I've tried to do here with the different cults. And I think it can work, but you have to have a much better structure, and you have to give us a lot of free characters, and hopefully you guys like what I've done here. So let's get into some tasks and animations. So for number 15, I forget his number. The crazy dude anyway. Try connect to aliens for 60 minutes. So this will you'll have his little tinfoil hat on, and you'll be trying to contact them, waving his little stick in the air. Answer questions for 4 hours. This will be the villa if you own it. Stop escapees for 8 hours. This will be Squidport, I guess. Go crazy for 12 hours. So this will be him just having like a mental breakdown almost, but having like a panic, going absolutely berserk, jumping up in the air, waving like his little walking stick or whatever around, just going absolutely mental. And then pretend he can see for 24 hours. This will be at the hospital. For number 2, we have start gassing the town for 60 minutes. So this will be him. He'll be walking around with like a little oxygen tank and little spray, almost like what's his name? So, No Country of Old Man Anton, is it? No Country for Old Man villain. No Country for Old Men villain. Anton Chugari or whatever is it? I forget his name. But he'll have like one of those little gas canister things, and he'll be just like going around gassing the town. Address the numbers for 4 hours, this will be the villa. Imprison news secret spillers for 8 hours, this will be the villa. Serve up a drugged up dessert for 12 hours, so this will have a dessert filled with like needles and stuff, which you saw in the episode, and he'll be there kind of like, you know, he could be there kind of making it outside the villa, you know, like we see his back turned to us, and then he's like, ta-da, and he shows it to us, and then maybe he actually gets pricked with it as well, and he's like, oh no, and he faints, and then wakes up and repeat, and then hack the internet for 24 hours, that'll be the villa. I just love the boomer words there, hack the internet. For the imposter Homer, we have fight Homer for 60 minutes. You have to have this. Him and Homer having a fight together. It's got to be an animation. Make Lisa suspicious for 4 hours. This will be with Lisa at the school. Get Homer a promotion at work for 8 hours. This will be at the power plant. Shave his head for 12 hours. This will be an animation where he'll just be like, you know, just pretty much there, just shaving his head. He'll have like his full, you know, he'll have his yellow, you know, his yellow head or whatever. Or actually, no, he'll have a bit of hair. I think give him like a bit like a bushy hair, and he's like, you know, he shaves it all off so it obviously looks like Homer. And then try to practice being Homer for 24 hours. That will be, or just practice being Homer for 24 hours. That will be at the Simpsons house. For Jane and Glenn, we have hand out flyers for 60 minutes. Pretty simple, both of them just handing out flyers. I don't want NPCs, to be honest. I think just them like you know, like showing them off, waving them around, handing them out, and then maybe Glenn could be doing that, and then Jane's just kind of like, you know, like throwing them out like they're dollar notes to a hooker, or not to a hooker, to a stripper. Sorry. Yeah, that could be kind of cool, like something like that. You don't need an NPC for these animations. Take over businesses for 4 hours. This will just be them going from business to business, kind of similar to the Legs and Louie animation. So it'll be like a semi-animated task, because they'll be going from building to building, but obviously not an actual animation. Welcome new members for 8 hours. This will be at the cabins, obviously. Guard the members for 12 hours. So, do you know what? I think this could be kind of funny, but them just outside of the cabins that they come with. Like, Jane with like a sniper, Glenn with like a shotgun. You know, like just, I think that could just be like really funny. Similar to the Leaders one, because I don't really like the Leaders animation because of that. I think them having that kind of thing could be like really funny. Yeah, I want to change this animation for the Homer one. Obviously, I want the fly away like the leader would sort of animation, where he's, you know, flying on the little crappy thing like the leader would. So ignore this first one. Sneak into the forbidden barn for 4 hours. That'll be in the forbidden barn. Clean the leader's car for 8 hours. That'll be the leader's car. Be beaten out of the cult for 12 hours. So this will be Marge and Bart, I think. Actually, just Marge. This will be an animation with Marge, and she'll just be hitting Homer with like a baseball bat, trying to stop him from... Or it could be Willie and Lovejoy, because it's Willie and Lovejoy in the episode, I think. I think it's all of them, to be fair. I think Marge, just keep it with Marge. And then pray to Blistopia for 24 hours. That will be at anywhere, really, I guess. And then for the Orb, absorb people for 60 minutes. I think this one will just have to be with an NPC. Although I do like the idea of having it be Mole Man. But maybe not, because not everyone will have Mole Man, obviously. So just absorb people. It'll just be like a random NPC who gets absorbed by the orb. But I think him going around Springfield as well could be pretty cool. So like a little NPC will spawn, and then he'll be like, and you know, the NPC can be running, he can be following, and then he'll like absorb the person. Hide from needles for 4 hours. That will be at the exit. Guard the movementarian compound for 8 hours. That will be at the exit. Obviously, it comes with Rise from the Sea for 12 hours. So I kind of want this one to be at in the actual sea, but I realise that can be kind of hard depending on, you know, like things that Rise from the Water, I think, is probably a better thing, a better way to phrase it. And then he could just come from one of those fishing lakes or fishing ponds or whatever it was called, that characters have animations to fish at, and so he'll just basically, like, the water will start bubbling, and then he'll kind of like rise out, and then he'll like zip off. Or maybe he'll rise out, and then like a little bird or something can fly, pop him, and then he'll, you know, and then repeat. That could be kind of cool. And then be fired as a guard for 24 hours. This will be at any of the buildings. I mean, I guess the villa, or can be at the island villa, or it can be at the movementarian compound. For Barry, the indoctrination dinosaur, sing the indoctrination song for 60 minutes. This will be him pretty much just singing a song, nothing too complex. Just be there. He'll have maybe like a little microphone, and he'll just be there singing little dance, sway left to right. Pitch his TV show for 4 hours with the Crusty Lou Studios. Get attacked by babies for 8 hours. This will be at the Moventarian compound if you have it. I assume you would have it if you play this event. Get attacked by an alligator guard for 12 hours. So this will be him getting attacked by an actual alligator. And getting mauled a bit and trying to fight him off. And then learn new songs for 24 hours. This will be at the Moventarian compound, I guess. For obviously just stamp the ticket man. Demand his ticket stamped. Obviously we have to have that. So he'll be there with his little ticket, waving it in the air, demanding it be stamped. Admit his love of Homer for 4 hours. This will be the No Homers Club. Look for free parking for 8 hours. This will be a semi-animated task where basically he'll be going from business to business, obviously similar to the one I described before, looking for his free parking. Punch Homer for 12 hours. So this one I want him to just be like punching Homer in the face repeatedly. It's got to be an animation with Homer. We've got to have it. And then get sickened by the town for 24 hours. That can be anywhere really, town hall, any building. And then for his actual Stonecutter costume, we got Protest Homer for 60 minutes. So this will be him with like a little protest sign, protesting No Homer. Run the club for 4 hours. This will be the Stonecutters. That'll be the No Homers Club. Make anti-Homer propaganda for 8 hours. This will be at the club. Attach the Stone of Shame for 12 hours. This will be him attaching the Stone of Shame to himself, not to Homer, to himself. And trying to drag it across. If you don't actually own the decoration though, I think it's fine, just make it spawn in for that animation. And then become the new chosen one for 24 hours. This will be at either the Stonecutters compound or just the No Homers Club, which is what he comes with. For the plumber, we got fix up a pipe for 60 minutes. So this will be him. Literally, he'll have a pipe, 2 pipes, like a pipe that's broken. He'll put it together and he'll just duct tape it and he'll call it a day. And then he'll chuck it away and be like, and then pick up another one. Fix his van for 4 hours. That'll be his van. Overcharge non-Stonecutters for 8 hours. This will just be at like the Blue House. Show off the secret handshake for 12 hours. So this will be him doing that wacky little handshake he does in the episode. Showing it off. Pretty cool. And then practice the new secret handshake for 24 hours. That will be at his van. For Leopold's Stonecutter costume, we have charge up the bat for 60 minutes. He'll have like a little bat and he'll just be like charging up in his hand. Invent new initiations for 4 hours. This will be at the Stonecutters base or the No Homers Club, wherever really. Beat Skinner at cards for 8 hours. This will be at him and Skinner at the Stonecutters Lodge. Scare kids into joining the Stonecutters for 12 hours. So this will be him outside the school on like a little stage and just, doing his angry face, there doesn't need to be an NPC for that one, I don't think, just kind of make it implied. And then ask number 1 to expand to children for 24 hours, expand membership to children, 24 hours, that will be with number 1 at the Stonecutter Lodge, if you obviously own number 1, if not, can be done without him. For Kirk, we have Kirk Stonecutter 1 anyway. Chase after his robes, 60 minutes. Basically, his robes are going to be blowing in the wind and he's going to be chasing after them in just his tighty whiteys. Sit by himself at the lodge for 4 hours. Pretty tragic. At the Stonecutters Lodge. Explain the Stonecutters to Luann for 8 hours. That will be him and Luann at their house. Look for coins to pay for his membership for 12 hours. So this will be him. Pretty sad, but he just be like... just walking across the street, there was like a little penny or something on the ground. He'll pick it up and then he'll he'll bite into it and it will snap and it's just chocolate. And then like his mouth can be covered in chocolate or something. And he's like, oh, it's chocolate. And he carries on looking for more. And then try and make new friends for 24 hours. That was Stonecutter Lodge. I just realized I made Kirk's task and animations depressing. And then for John Hancock, we've got signed the Stonecutters into the Declaration of Independence for 60 minutes. So a little sort of desk thing will spawn, and he'll be like, writing in the stone, just writing in it really, nothing much. Critique the current politicians for 4 hours. That will be at the town hall. Try to lobby against other cults for 8 hours. That will be at the Stonecutter Lodge. Breathe fire. not breath fire, breathe fire. I forgot to put an E on the end. Breathe fire for 12 hours. This will be, him literally just breathing fire. Why not? And check in on his cult for 24 hours. That will be at the Stonecutters Lodge. So, yeah, that is it for my little cult versus cult event. So tell me your thoughts on it. Did you like it? What do you think? Do you think this definitely could work? Do you think it's crap? Just let me know, and I shall see you in the next one, where we'll be doing a mini update, because my god, this one took me forever. Goodbye.